For more than 30 years, the Once-A-Year Players have prided ourselves on bringing joy and laughter to our audiences at street scenes. Whether it was through a favorite Broadway song, an energetic dance, or finding a way to poke fun at a reluctant audience member, we have had so much fun over the years. But the pandemic has had a lasting impact on our Street Scenes family. We lost our founding member, Mary Lou Thompson, to COVID-19 in May of 2020 at the very youthful age of 88.
It's hard to describe what being one of the Once-A-Year Players means to each of us, but knowing Mary Lou was a gift from God. I learned many things from her, one of them being to live in the moment. If you were with Mary Lou or even speaking with her on the phone, you were the priority. It was never about her, always about you. This was true when we were all together for the last time a year ago on her birthday. I'm also proud to say that she knew how much I loved her, and I know how much she loved me. Be present, live life. Doing the Sisters duet with her in 1996 will always remain a favorite treasured memory for me. We had so much fun choosing our Baldwin Sisters outfits and practicing the number until reaching the perfection you see here.
Being the new kid on the block back in 1985 with Tony Mirabelli, I was nervous about that first meet and greet rehearsal. There was no need because I was welcomed with open arms, especially by Mary Lou. Having learned so much about her before that first rehearsal from my friends while doing patent leather shoes at St. Cornelius in Chicago, I was excited to meet the person who was integral to the start of Street Scenes at Carmel. She did not disappoint, being the most hospitable host when we rehearsed at her condo, and regaled me with stories of past Street Scene shows and all the hard work her and Don invested in Street Scenes to make it the huge success it is now for Carmel. In this number from the Tony Award-winning musical 9, Mary Lou is Saragina, and we are her dancing boys while she sings Be Italian.
Take a chance and try to steal a fiery kiss. Be Italian, be Brazilian. When you hold me, don't just hold me, but hold me.
What always amused me during this number was how we were working so hard to get all the dance steps just right. But mostly, the number revolved and showcased Mary Lou and all the joy and love she had for us as friends and cast members, as well as a thank you to the audience for coming to support a place she held so dear to her heart for decades. We miss you, Mary Lou, but we are so happy that you have reunited with your husband, Don.
I married into the Street Scenes family and joined in 1995. But through dating Tony, I've known Mary Lou for many years prior to that. If I ever needed a good book to read, Mary Lou was the one to go to, as she was a wealth of knowledge as far as pointing out the next great novel for me to dig into. My third Street Scenes show was the 1997 WLOV radio show, and I will never forget how much fun it was doing the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy trio with Mary Lou and Joyce. One of my favorite Street Scenes shows was the 1998 rendition of the musical Chicago. I played Roxy Hart, a character pretending to be pregnant to get out of jail. Ironically, I was pregnant with my first daughter, Jasmine, at the time.
Very wealthy. Where are they now? 6 feet under.
Well, she was granted one more start. The convent of the Sacred Heart.
Mary Lou reprised her role as Mama Morton from 1991, only to do it a third time in 2007 in our review show, 20 Years of Street Scenes Memories.
Don't you know that this hand
washes that hand too? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you.
How this little lady brought so much love and energy year after year and show after show to the once-a-year players will surely be missed.
We are privileged this year to pay tribute to Mary Lou Thompson and the countless ways that she contributed to the Carmel street scenes community. It seems like things are coming full circle on my street scene story. It began when a young Carmel high school student named Joyce Thompson crossed Route 176 to audition for a part in Godspell at St. Mary of the Lake University that I was directing. I hear that same person now, Joyce Hawk, on faculty at Carmel, will be the musical director of the spring musical, which happens to also be Godspell. Mary Lou introduced me to the Chicoines, the street scenes entertainment chair couple, who invited us to perform back in 1987. And thus, the run of the once-a-year players began. But the Thompson family had a long history of involvement going back to the beginning of street scenes. Mary Lou and her husband, Don, were among the original chair couples who got the whole event started. The Thompson family shared their many talents performing at street scenes as well. And Joyce even had special dispensation to appear in several of our shows while she was still a student at Carmel High School.
I joined the once-a-year players in 1993 when Joyce, still in college at U of I, was unable to do the show. I filled in for Joyce as Mary Kenny, the good girl, in the Archies Go to Catholic School. Mary Lou played the stern sister who tried to keep the rowdy Catholic school kids in line.
Children, stand for prayer. Stand for prayer.
She played the role of the strict nun very well, even though it was far from her true personality. She had so much fun in the role, even disciplining the audience members as if they too were her students.
Children, you know you all have a guardian angel who watches over you day and night.
Yes, sister.
Your guardian angel knows every move you make.
Yes, sister.
So let's all move around our seats just a little bit to make room for them.
But I might add, Mary Kenny was her favorite.
Mary Kenny, I'll repeat the question. Why did God make you?
God made me to know Him, to love Him, and to serve Him in this world, and to be happy with Him forever in the next.
Very good, Mary.
My first street scene show has always been one of my favorites and holds a special place in my heart. First, it introduced me to street scenes and the once-a-year players, but also to Mary Lou, who is like a mom to us all.
when you're good to mama, mama's good to you. You got it?
She reminded me so much of my own mom, who had passed away a couple of years before. Mary Lou brought such joy to all of us with her caring heart and bright spirit. She was the matriarch of our street scenes family. The laughter and good times we shared during rehearsals and performances were not to be matched. Our audiences could see how much we really cared about and loved each other. Street scenes didn't just bring us together to perform once a year, but has created friendships for a lifetime.
Through the years we'll all be friends, wherever we may be.
Mary Lou is a treasure to all of us, and I feel blessed to have known her and to call her my dear friend. She will be missed.
Because we like you.
I am Bernard, and I've been doing street scenes for 23 years. And it's been a blast. I can't believe it's been that long. Although it's not as long as the other members of the group, but it's been amazing. And we're so happy to do this tribute for Mary Lou, who we miss so much. This next song from Charlie Brown, Just One Person, is perfect for Mary Lou. She's always that person that you could rely on, always believing in people and always encouraging people. So again, we're happy to have this tribute for her and enjoy Just One Person from Charlie Brown.
Just one person believes in you. Even up and slugging out believes in you.
Becoming involved in street scenes performances 30 plus years ago brought much grace into my life. Mary Lou Thompson was a significant part of that life-changing first experience and also became a very special person to me. A grace, a blessing, a dear friend, a confidant, a mentor, a traveling companion. She welcomed all of us into her family, and she became a part of our families, sharing joys and sorrows and milestones along the way, as well as a lot of fun and love. She is a treasured friend. My good friend Marge and I commiserated with each other the day after that first street scenes experience for us in 1988. We thought this might be a one-time experience and that we might not see the people we had met, had so much fun with, and had become close to during our practices and performances, and we shed a few tears. Little did we know that the bonds we had made and the desire to keep it going was there, and suddenly we found ourselves in our 5th year at Street Scenes in 1992, ready to become overaged Mouseketeers for our rendition of the Mickey Mouse Club, all of the 1950s. We all worked very hard to mimic the original Mouseketeers opening dance number that began each of their shows. Mary Lou brought a lot of joy to that dance routine, but that was Mary Lou in all her performances, evidenced by the smiles, the playful looks in her twinkling blue eyes, and her always ready spirit of both hard work and fun. During our Mickey Mouse Club performances, she also introduced our special guest, a graduate of Carmel. Former and present students, see if you can recognize who our Snow White is.
She has lips of ruby red and hair of ebony. And she lives in the forest with 7 little men.
Elizabeth Taylor!
No! It's Snow White. Okay, but I don't have any dwarfs.
It wasn't until a few years after that 92 performance that we cemented a permanent once-a-year players cast, and we are both cast and family to this day. The lives of many people from those early years brought them to distant places, so it's great to walk down memory lane and call them to mind. They left handprints on our hearts. Thank you, Carmel, for allowing us to be part of this great experience for so many years, and thank you, Mary Lou, for bringing it to us.
Mary Lou was a neighbor, friend, and role model of faith and kindness to me. And when it came to the stage, she knew her audience and what worked. And did she work hard for them during rehearsals and shows. I remember one rehearsal when she stayed late to get a little extra help with some dance steps in our Chicago set in 1998. By the way, she was 66. She loved singing, she loved dancing, she loved all of us, and we loved her back. Here's to you, Mary Lou. It was a joy and a blessing to perform and just be with you, side by side, all of these years in Street Scenes.
Side by side, by side, sharing a tear, lending a shoulder, side by side, by side, everything shines so sweet, side by side, by side, parallel lines to meet, side by side, by side, friendship forbids anything bitter, side by side, by side. 20 more years! You're such a giver, side by side, by side. One's impossible, two is dreary, three is company safe and cheery, side by side, 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 by side.
Telephone is near.